right after these guys attack them, get ahead.
I thought Randy Johnson might continue to throw and maybe just come into the game from the bullpen, but he's just now strolling inside foul territory down the third base line. And with him on the field, the game will start with a swing and a miss. And we're underway, and the Nats did a pretty good job of predicting. They said we'd throw first pitch at 5:10. It's 5:11, 61 degrees in a light, steady rain. And Zimmerman throws one upstairs to Aaron Rowan, who's hitting .404 for the Giants since they put him in the leadoff spot. So a 36-minute delay in starting the first game of this traditional doubleheader. Home plate umpire, 10-year veteran Tim Timmons. R.J. Thompson, rookie umpire, called up for the day. Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, at second. Mark Wegner at third. As we told you before, when an umpire works home plate on a doubleheader day, he gets the other game off, and Rob Drake will have that home plate duty tonight. So Aaron Rowan with a 12-game hitting streak, hanging tough here against Jordan Zimmerman. Not to be forgotten, the Nationals have won the only game of this series, 10-6 on Tuesday night, out hitting the Giants 14-11. Fastball up, 2-2. Working with Will Nieves today is Jordan, making his 9th major league start. Tough to get the ball past Aaron Rowan. Is he turning into a contact guy now?
Well, I think mentally you change your approach a little bit differently at the leadoff thing. You're trying to make the pitcher throw, or try to throw all of his pitches, which he's challenged him with nothing but fastballs, to show the rest of the lineup.
Rowan's hard to walk, 34 strikeouts, only 8 walks this year. So he's in there to hack.
He's right up on top of the plate, too.
And that gets him on the inside corner.
Well, you wanted to see something different. Well, you got the big breaking ball, and Jordan Zimmerman's got an excellent slider. He drops it in there after about 7 straight fastballs. It's a great location right here. It's down at the knees. It's a nice little slider. We'd almost call it a slitty. Kind of a cross between a curveball and a slider. Some people call it a slurve.
I think I like slurve better.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a cut fastball, yeah. But you're actually just tweaking it a little bit so it just breaks a little bit more than a cutter.
Edgar Renteria hitting .245 next for the Giants. And a swing and a foul tip right into the glove of Will Nieves.
And this is the type of guy we saw in the first couple of outings for Jordan. He just attacked people. He blew it by people the first trip through the lineup. He's a very special young man. He's got to get that in his head, that he is special, and they can't hit his stuff.
Got him looking with a fastball on the outside corner. Renteria walks away slowly, 2 outs. Next up will be Randy Wynn.
Well, a couple of backward Ks right here to start off. When you have that good of a breaking ball and they start looking for that instead of 95, that's what happens. You're able to just throw 95 right down the middle and even freeze a guy like Renteria.
Randy Wynn hitting .283, switch hitting, line drive type hitter. He's only hit 2 home runs. That's got to be one of the lowest totals for any number 3 hitter in baseball. The Giants have only hit 27 this year.
Oh, that's not low.
Pretty nasty.
That's a nice pitch. Cheese at the knees. You're not going to hit that.
Right in on the trademark. I think this is going to be a good night for the pitchers. These guys can bring it. It's not a night when hitters are feeling comfortable. You know, they say in football the offense has the advantage in bad weather because they've got the ball in their hands and they know what they're doing. This is the only sport where the defense has the ball in its hands to start. So you would expect the pitchers to be able to intimidate a few guys and work them in and out, but bust some of these hitters in on their hands on an evening like this. 3-1 pitch.
Well, they've got a little bit more to contend with than you as a pitcher. As a pitcher, you're still doing what you do. Their bats are wet, their helmets get dripping water, their gloves are a little bit wet. They're more uncomfortable than the pitcher is in a night like this.
That'll be out of play down the left field line. You know, the Giants have had a lot of problems on the road this year. They're a .500 ball club, but they're only 7-16 on the road. They have only one more road win than the Nationals do. Against the East, Benji Molina, Wynn and company 6-5. The Nats are 5-4 against the West. 3-2 again and a ground ball. Nice big hop. Right to the pitcher from Slick Nick down there at first. And a 1-2-3 top of the first for Zimmerman. Off to Director of Ballpark Operations Matthew Blush and the head groundskeeper John Royce for all their hard work. Those guys have been working throughout the night to get this field ready today. And Ryan Zimmerman will bat third in the Nats starting lineup. Washington hitting .268 in the league. They're down to number 4 in batting average, but that's because they had to take a night off. Zimmerman still third in the league in hitting, or rather in hits, and 4th in extra base hits. Randy Johnson, 299 and 164 against the Montreal Washington franchise. He's 4-3 with a 2.99 ERA. The franchise that signed him to his first professional contract. He's ahead of Alberto Gonzalez. Rob, how different of a pitcher is he at this stage of his career?
Oh, he leaps and bounds above where he used to be a thrower. When I played against him in the minor leagues, and then when he was with the Expos before he got traded to the American League, he just threw it 100, and he scared the heck out of anybody who stood in the box. He was all over the place. He really didn't repeat his delivery. He's a pitcher. He's a pitcher now. Now he's thinking what spot I'm going to hit, what kind of breaking ball I'm going to throw you when I get ahead. I mean, all that kind of stuff. He's 20 years removed from being a thrower.
They had to throw the first ball of the game out that he pitched. All these balls are being documented tonight as authentic baseballs thrown by Randy Johnson in the ball game. And the 0-2 to Alberto Gonzalez. Debbie Taylor will sort that out for us later and explain what they're doing with the baseballs. Renteria with a soft throw. Gonzalez out, and that's how the bottom of the first gets underway for Randy Johnson.
PNC scouting report on Randy Johnson. He may be the last of the Mohicans, maybe the last 300-game winner in our generation. Video game numbers. You look at his strikeouts, his hits to innings pitched, his strikeouts to innings pitched, his walks to innings pitched. All of his numbers are just ridiculously off the charts, and he will be missed. He is baseball royalty, and when he's gone, there's never going to be another one like him.
Nick Johnson hitting .328. Can't be too comfy for a left-hander looking out 60 feet away and seeing that guy.
6'10", though.
6'10", looking at him.
Because when he lets go of the ball, he's about 50 feet from you. And remember when he threw 100? Can you imagine him throwing an up under your chin fastball if you're left-handed? You'd see it in your dreams for a month.
Some would call that a nightmare. 2-0 to Nick, who's hit safely in 18 of his last 21 games. That ball really hit well to center, and it's backhanded by Aaron Rowand. And if he doesn't make that play, that ball hits the wet turf and might be at least 3 for Nick Johnson, who hit it extremely hard.
Nick sits in on lefty so well. Randy Johnson, no exception. He takes it the other way in the left center, but Aaron Rowan is there, makes an exceptional defensive play on the ball as it's fading away from him. Actually comes back in a little bit and handcuffed him, but
yeah,
Nick just hits everybody.
Here's Zimmerman. And the one thing I noticed about that play that might be the most significant of all, when Aaron Rowan hit the turf, no water splashed up. It's amazing how much moisture these modern fields can take. Zimmerman up the middle, but that's where they're playing him. Emmanuel Burris gets behind it. Each pitcher with a 1-2-3 in the first inning, and a good start for Randy Johnson. A poncho, whatever other rain gear you might be able to bring. And here we are with a closer look at Randy Johnson from up top.
Randy Johnson right here. He sticks his finger out or his hand in front of the ball. He may have gotten clipped by this Ryan Zimmerman hit up the middle. Now watch this right there. Great shot, guys. May have gotten his pinky right there as he shook his hand as he walked off the mound. So there he is looking at it. Note to self: you're not supposed to try to field it barehanded.
And he should have known that his second baseman was playing right up the middle, because that's the way teams play Ryan Zimmerman.
Well, remember, we talk about third and first base as reactionary positions. So is the pitcher. A lot of times, I mean, like I said, he's right there at the front of the mound, ball one hop. First reactions to try to knock it down like a hockey goalie.
Benji Molina hitting .247. Breaking ball popped up right side. It'll get over the dugout. Molina 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts on Tuesday night.
The highest active batting averages against the Expos/Nationals.
Yeah, and that series in San Francisco didn't do anything to hurt that. Benji Molina did not start the third game of that series, but he had a home run in game 2 and a base hit in game 1. And he doesn't hit many homers, neither do the Giants. He's hit 8 out this year. Hard to walk. 25 strikeouts, 2 bases on balls, and he's gone. And Jordan Zimmerman has 3 strikeouts in 4 batters retired. That'll bring up the left fielder Fred Lewis.
Here's the strikeout, Bob, right here. He sets it up 0-2 very nicely. Changed some eye views with the second pitch of this at bat. We'll see it in just a second.
And there's a fastball up.
Now this is the 0-1 pitch right here to Benji Molina. You see Will Nieves right there, bang. He throws that chest high fastball. This is a learning process, but that's excellent. Moving his eye level from down to up and then back down for strike 3.
Then he tries to paint with the fastball, just misses. Fred Lewis, 4-game hitting streak, 5 base hits over that time, and a 2-1 pitch. Took a little bit off, got the inside corner.
It was like a sidearm changeup right there. That was very nice. Here's that last pitch. Watch him drop down a little bit. Northrop Grumman right there, and he drops some MPHs on it too, down into 87. Just giving me a lot of different looks, and that's what he's got to do. We've talked about it. Sometimes he's got too good a command, and for a young guy, that's amazing.
Yeah. And that ball lined out to left center. It'll be a wet baseball every time it gets picked up in the outfield. Adam Dunn gets it back in quickly. Fred Lewis was thinking second base until Adam Dunn put a stop to him. This is a night when a good running team like the Giants can challenge your defense. Dukes in center, Kearns in right. Josh Willingham really has a bad case of the flu and not feeling well. Anderson Hernandez was penciled in as the starter last night at second base, but it's Belliard today. We're expected to see Anderson Hernandez at second base tonight. And you would think Josh Bard behind the plate tonight. We'll worry about tonight when that happens. Right now, just trying to get one game in here, and then you'll take your chances. This is Travis Ishikawa. Ishikawa had some hits against the Nats in that series out in San Fran. He's a 25-year-old first baseman from Seattle. Giants took him in the 21st round 7 years ago. Big kid, 6'3", 225. Nats looking for a ground ball. That's a fly ball off to the left, 1-2.
There's that little slider again. Saw that late break. So, something really farther out away from Ichikawa is preferable right here. Whether it's a slider, try to backdoor it, or even a changeup down in the dirt.
Runner goes. That's a breaking ball, fouled off.
Tried to backdoor him, but try to get that a little bit lower.
Yeah, that ball was up.
He grounds it. You want them to always, if you make a mistake, hit it into the ground. When he got the ball up to Lewis, Lewis got the base hit. Keep it down away from him, have him slap it on the ground.
Ishikawa 7 for his last 11. Lewis a good lead. He's holding this time. And again, Zimmerman keeps the ball away from him.
There you see him. He hits his spots.
Juan Uribe is next. By the way, the Mets are coming here tomorrow night. They were beaten at Pittsburgh 11-6 today.
Yeah, Mike Pelfrey did not throw the ball well today.
They have even more injury issues than when we saw them last week. Bouncing ball. Nick Johnson can't get it. It's a fair ball. Fred Lewis is racing for third. Kearns picks the ball up and gets it back in. Second and third, 1 out for the Giants. And of course, when the Giants, if and when they score, everybody starts thinking about Randy Johnson then having a lead to work with.
Well, this pitch is going to go down and in, and that's right in the sweet spot for a hitter on the left side. He pulls it right by Nick Johnson. Nick, I think, actually got a piece of it, slowed it down. And Fred Lewis was held up at third and may have jammed his foot.
Juan Uribe had 2 hits on Tuesday night. He's 5 for his last 10. Nats will play the infield back early in the ball game. Good breaking ball away for a strike.
There's your defensive alignment.
Outfield pretty deep straight away. Uribe, for a guy with no home runs, being played pretty deep in center and left.
Well, Zimmerman's supplying a lot of power with the 95-mile-an-hour heater.
Kearns, of course, the best arm of the 3 out there. And a 1-1 pitch. Lined, caught, but it's on a hop. That'll be a run. A good play by Ronnie Belliard on a ball that could have gotten by him. And the Giants are on the board on Juan Uribe's 10th RBI.
Well, Ronnie Belliard is going to make a tremendous play right here. Probably saved a run. Shot to his left. He makes a 360 and a perfect throw to Nick Johnson. So Ishikawa had to stay at second base, but Fred Lewis scores easily with his speed.
And that'll bring up Emmanuel Burris. Can't catch up with that.
High heat.
Burris, 24-year-old, native of our nation's capital. Late for that one. 93-94.
See, he's so far behind that. Don't even think about an off-speed pitch. I've told you about the bottom of the order. Here's the pitch track from Northrop Grumman. Just right by him. Not even a shot. Maybe even throw one chest high right here away from him.
Then he gets one up the middle. 3 consecutive fastballs, and Emmanuel Burris puts the Giants on top 2-0. Early game problems continue for Jordan Zimmermann. He had a 1-2-3 first inning, but the Giants have played 3 hits here.
Well, you saw where Will Nieves has the glove on the outer half, and he throws it on the inner half. Way too good of an 0-2 pitch, and he knows it.
Randy Johnson's a 125 career hitter. He does have 1 career home run, which came against Doug Davis of Milwaukee 6 years ago.
I don't think he's going to overswing right here. I know he's had the bad back problems over the years, knee problem from time to time. Unless it's right in there, I don't think he's going to really try to kill it. Yeah.
So 4 strikeouts for Jordan Zimmermann, but 3 hits for the Giants, giving them 2 runs. Adam Dunn looking to get a grip here in the rain. He'll lead off with Dukes and Kearns to follow. And now the Nats. Your red on, get a Grand Slam Flex plan, 4 games, and then you get 1 free. 5 different plans to choose from, and you can enjoy ultimate flexibility, your plan, your games, your seats, and a free game. It's that easy. 202-675-NATS or visit nationals.com/Grand Slam. Randy Johnson, first inning, only 8 pitches, 5 strikes. Adam Dunn hitting .269, Elijah Dukes at .276, and Austin Kearns at .224. The only left-hander we've seen tonight got a real good swing on Randy. That was Nick Johnson.
Well, you want to know how rare it is, Bob, to win 300 games in the major leagues. He would become only the 6th ever left-handed major league pitcher to win 300 games, and he would be the 5th pitcher since 1970 to record 300 victories.
Only 23 pitchers in the history of this game have done it. And a 2-0 coming. That's a fastball up and away to Adam Dunn. 5 Cy Youngs, 10 All-Star games.
4 in a row.
Roger Clemens with more. He had an amazing run in Arizona. Not bad for a guy who wasn't even drafted first by the Expos. As we mentioned last night, they took an outfielder, Pete Incaviglia, who is a slugger out of Oklahoma State, before they drafted Randy Johnson. 3-1, and Adam Dunn takes it on the corner. B.J. Surhoff in that 85 class. Will the Thrill. Bobby Witt out of the University of Texas. Barry Larkin. Bonds out of Arizona State. And Randy Johnson, after going 3-0 on Adam Dunn, battles back to strike him out.
Well, one of the things that Randy Johnson did with Nolan Ryan was work on the mechanics. And here's Randy Johnson's delivery from overhead, and you see him perfect right in the middle of the mound, deliver the ball, and boom, going for his 300th win today. Nolan Ryan said, you know, you're landing on your heel. Why don't you try to land a little bit more forward on the front end of your foot and bring everything towards the hitter? He's been doing it for 20+ years. But I think that the conversation had to be more of the belief in yourself and your stuff, and Randy Johnson became Randy Johnson after talking to Nolan Ryan.
Off-speed pitch. He had Dukes reaching.
Because what Nolan said, he said, I wanted this kid to get the most out of his talent that he possibly could, and he felt he needed to say something to him.
So hitters have even another reason to not like Nolan Ryan. And the 0-2 to Elijah Dukes. Fastball just a little bit up, didn't miss by much.
Well, I think the hitters in the American League West right now have a reason to not like Nolan Ryan, because they're having a hard time hitting the pitching staff of the Texas Rangers, where he is now the president.
ERA 4.56 on that ball club, but much better among their starters than it's been. And of course, they have all the offense you could want.
Well, and he also hired Mike Maddox, who's regarded as one of the best pitching coaches in baseball. Stole him away from the Milwaukee Brewers. Craig Maddox's brother.
1-2 to Elijah Dukes, who's hit 4 homers, 12 RBIs over his last 14 games. That's an off-speed pitch way outside. 2-2.
That's kind of a little changeup that over the last few years Randy Johnson has fiddled with, but he's still predominantly fastball, slider, and when he's got a good tilt on the slider, it's a rough night for everybody.
Dukes a 2-hopper left side. Juan Uribe, 2 outs. Randy Johnson starting his night out 5 in a row, and he'll face Austin Kearns. This ball game started at 5:11 Eastern time after a 36-minute rain delay. Still a few sprinkles coming down, but not raining as hard as it did earlier. Interesting wardrobes in the ballpark tonight. Anything to keep dry and keep warm on a 61-degree afternoon. Here's Austin Kearns. Who is 8 for his last 47. Then he goes soft. Well, not that much softer. Just a little bit of 90-mile-an-hour action there, and it's 0-2 quickly. Kearns has fanned 30 times this year, and Randy Johnson rings him up. 2 strikeouts in the second inning. So far, so good for the would-be 300-game winner. A 2-0 lead and 6 in a row.
Giants as we move to the third inning. Now, Jordan Zimmerman wasn't even born when Randy Johnson was drafted by the Expos in 1985, but he's hoping to stop history from happening here tonight.
I definitely want to stop it. And, I mean, everyone's probably going to be cheering against me, so he gets a 300 win. But, I mean, I'm going to go out there and pitch my game and see what happens. And hopefully we can keep him at 299 for another 5 days.
Now, as far as facing Randy Johnson from a hitter's perspective, Jordan told me he's got a new batch of balls. He's got a new batch of bats to use.
1 ball and 1 strike. Thank you, Debbie. That ball fouled off top of the third inning, and Aaron Rowan was called out on strikes first time up. And so was Edgar Renteria, who bats after him. Well, if Jordan Zimmerman gets a hit against Randy Johnson with a new bat, everybody in the dugout will want a piece of that thing. On the ground, pulled over to Zimmerman. Aaron Rowan 0 for 2 after getting 3 hits and a walk on Tuesday night. Next up will be Renteria and then Randy Wynn.
Well, you play the game long enough, you give up a lot of first hits, first home runs, first a lot of stuff. I gave up Kurt Schilling's first RBI single in the big leagues. Wasn't happy about it, but it happened. Next pitch went behind Eric Yelding. We had a fight. I'll just throw that in there. No, yeah, we did. That was back in my wild and crazy days.
1 ball and 1 strike to Renteria, overmatched by Zimmerman first time up. He painted the outside corner with a fastball.
You saw Edgar's reaction because he took 3 straight fastballs, and then he gets the slider he's looking for in the first at bat. There's the fastball again.
Firestone is a tradition of innovation, and Jordan Zimmerman leads all major league rookies. Lots of strikeouts, counting 4 already here today. But just as impressive as that, the fact that it's 51 strikeouts but only 14 walks. The only thing, as Rob has pointed out numerous times, he's been way too hittable, throwing too many balls right down the middle of the plate.
Well, even to like Burris in that last inning, that RBI single at the end of the inning, that was kind of painful. He has him 0-2. He's got to think of something either in the dirt or chest high, but nothing good enough to hit. You see strike 3 right there on a great slider to Renteria. You know, it's more of a thought process now because he knows how to throw strikes, but it's setting hitters up and then putting them away. 3-2, great breaking ball. You see Renteria's butt going back into his own dugout. That's a wonderful pitch right there.
Bases empty, 2 outs, and here's Randy Wynn. Good fastball. Steady drizzle falling. Not affecting play at all so far. And a little bouncer to the right side, right at the bag. And Nick Johnson has it. Same 3 hitters who went 1, 2, 3 in the top of the first and the bottom 3 coming up for the Nats. Baseball on Masson, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your next trip at southwest.com. And by Firestone, a tradition of innovation. Bottom of the third here at Nationals Park. Belliard, Nieves, and Zimmerman. Our fans are all bundled up tonight and watching the Giants lead the Nationals 2-0 with a couple of runs on 3 hits in the second inning. Ronnie Belliard takes a tailing fastball for a strike. He's changing speeds on his fastball quite a bit. That was 88. We've seen 90, and we've seen above that. And we've seen changeup 82, 84.
Well, and there's the 84 changeup. He doesn't have 94 anymore, and I think he is the type of guy that he adjusted over the last few years, saying, listen, I can't blow people away anymore, but I can still change speeds on my fastball. It gives him an extra pitch.
Belliard reaching out to the shortstop. Renteria has to hurry. Edgar plays it well.
I mean, if you look at Levon Hernandez, maybe he's playing with about 8 mph slower than Randy Johnson's top end, but he does the exact same thing. By changing speeds and manipulating the miles per hour on a fastball, he's got a second, third pitch without even going to the slider or the changeup.
Will Nieves is one of 12 major league players whose first base hit of his career came against Randy Johnson. It's a rather indistinguished list. Jeff Bennett, Jeff Karstens, Dae-Sung Koo, Ryan Long, Scott McLean, Seth McClum, a pitcher of all people, Joe McEwing, Mike Rouse, Max Scherzer, another pitcher, Marcus Thames, but maybe the most infamous of all, Hector Ramirez of the Milwaukee Brewers. May 26th of 2000, his first base hit against Randy Johnson, the only hit of his major league career. Looks like Will's not going to get one this time. Renteria plays it well, 2 outs. Nats fans deserve major league service when it comes to tickets. Go to StubHub, official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of Nationals.com. Game 2 tonight, time TBA, and then the Mets are in for 3 over the weekend, a day off Monday, and then Cincinnati is here. A lot of HD in our immediate future. Jordan Zimmerman is 0 for 14 career.
Well, every pitcher has a guy like that. In my career of the home runs I gave up, there was a guy named Sil Campusano from the Philadelphia Phillies. I'll look it up. I think he has 3 career home runs, 1's off me. And it was painful because it was a 3-0 pitch. And normally I tried to locate it. I was like, it's 3-0. I'm getting my work in. Threw it right down Broadway. He crushed it. Home run.
No such luck for Zimmerman. Randy Johnson, 9 in a row to start the game when he's going for 300.
trailing this one by a score of 2-0 as we move to the top of the fourth inning. Now, I am joined by Chartice Burnett, the Vice President of Communications and Community Relations, a busy lady here at the ballpark, and really a lot of neat things happening this weekend. Let's start with Black Heritage Night.
Well, it's our first ever. We're excited to be able to celebrate the accomplishments of black women and men in our country. And so it's our first one, and we hope to make this a tradition where we can celebrate the culture. We've got, Latino heritage and certainly Jewish heritage, and so now we've added another program, and we're really excited to embrace that community.
What are some of the highlights of the night?
Well, we have a lot of elements. We've got a band that's going to be an R&B band that's going to be playing in center field. Illusions is the band, and then former Redskin and Hall of Famer Darryl Green will be out to participate in pregame ceremonies. We've got all kinds of vignettes from noted African Americans that will be speaking on what baseball means to them. So it's a lot of things going on tomorrow. We want folks to come out and enjoy and help us celebrate.
And also when they come out, they need to bring cans of food, right? Because there is a food drive going on here also?
Yes. Beginning tomorrow for the 3-game series against the Mets, we will be having our hosting our fourth annual Thanksgiving in June food collection. So come out and bring canned foods, bring pasta and peas and macaroni, tuna, and all kinds of things, because we want to benefit the Capital Area Food Bank, where they help to feed over 56,000 hungry children in the area. So we want folks to come out, as they always do. Our community helps us step up to the plate to do that.
Okay, Chartice, thank you so much. And I know that Will Nieves was there this week doing some work and meeting the volunteers, and I think it's something that people should definitely get involved in. Bob?
Thank you, Debbie, and thank you, Chartice. Nationals on a regular basis, almost a daily basis, reaching out into our community to help make D.C. a better place and get some folks in D.C. in love with baseball and with this baseball team. It's our team here. And there's a pitch on the inside corner from Jordan Zimmerman, who just struck out Benji Molina, and now he faces Fred Lewis, who got their rally going 2 innings ago. So the top 4 hitters in the Giants lineup 0 for 8 with 5 strikeouts and 3 ground balls.
He's been locating the ball excellent. It's just a couple of mistakes that he's making, and those are just things that over time he'll concentrate and focus to where you won't make a letdown here or a letdown there and get a ball up here or leave a slider out there. That's what pitching's all about. And right now he's just so raw and so talented that once he just puts it all together, I see this guy winning 20 games one year and winning Cy Young awards. He's that good.
2-2 to Lewis. They're going to jam him this time, and that results in a little ground ball up the middle, gobbled up by Gonzalez, and 2 quick outs.
All right, now this is him today. And check it out how good his location is. Slider, strike one. This is the start off the game, but then a bad location right there is Fred Lewis. There you see another one down and in. That was the double by Ishikawa. And then another pitch to Burris that was right there. And then you see the 3-2 breaking ball freezes a veteran, Edgar Renteria. So it's really just a question of bearing down sometimes, focusing, and just saying, listen, I'm not going to leave the ball here. I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to make you hit my pitches. Sometimes he's still just throwing a pitch instead of placing it where it should be. But that's all stuff that, when you've made 10 starts in the big leagues, it's kind of hard to nitpick, but that's some of the stuff he's got to work on. Because he's got everything. He's as good as anybody I've seen at this level in a long time.
And down left field way, pretty well hit. Adam Dunn over. He has it at a 1-2-3, top of the fourth. 1-2-3 innings for Zimmerman so far. Top of the order, straight ahead for the Nats. Well, familiar story in the president's race. Teddy, the early lead again, Rob. He just cannot endure.
It's just hard to believe that Teddy has not won a race other than the match race against the Baltimore Oriole Bird. He looks so good out of the gate. Just kind of fades away at the end.
Who's going to be the first national to get on base?
All right, I want to give you some of Randy Johnson's video game numbers. In almost 600 games started, over 4,000 innings pitched, only 3,305 hits coming into today. 1,485 walks. This is how great his command is. And 4,843 strikeouts. So only 1,485 walks over the course of that career. For a big 6'10" guy that started out just throwing 100 miles an hour all over the place. What's that plane though? 6'10" and coming downhill. Can you imagine when he was throwing 98 what lefties thought?
Yeah.
Please don't hit me.
Nick Johnson by far the best swing against him. A double, maybe more, taken away by Aaron Rowand on a drive to left center back in the first inning.
Besides the 300 wins, we may not see a guy with 100 complete games in a long time.
Yeah, that's exactly his career total, and 37 of them shutouts. Another number that's gone the way of the Edsel.
Is that the car you had in high school?
Uncle had one.
Edsel.
Ryan Zimmerman waiting. Ryan had a couple of hits his last two at bats on Tuesday, but he was 2 for 25 before that. Breaking ball, and Nick rips it again, but he's late. Let's look at the great left-handers. Warren Spahn, he won tons of games after the age of 30. And the Carlton, Eddie Plank, the least known, of course, on that list.
Lefty Grove. Randy Johnson could become the 6th lefty in the history of this game to win 300 games.
Nick Johnson takes a fastball near his hands inside 2-2. I'm sure you'd have a hard time convincing Nick this was 89 miles an hour.
Well, 1-2 pitch right here on the inner half. He bites his tongue.
And then there's no strike available on the outside part either. That was a breaking ball.
Kind of a flat slider right there. And he hasn't thrown many of those today.
Nick Johnson has walked 30 times this year. So Randy will have to throw a strike to get him out as a rule, and he won't. And there goes a potential perfect night for Randy Johnson, but he's still given up only one base runner. 1-on, 1-out Zimmerman coming up. Ryan Zimmerman hit a home run against Randy Johnson on Monday, May 11th in San Francisco. A 6th inning leadoff homer.
They would eventually win that game 11-7. The unit went 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, 3 home runs in that game, 9 strikeouts, no walks.
That was Ryan Zimmerman's 29th game in a row with a hit. He went 4 for 5 that night with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs.
That's a night to remember.
Whew. 2 more hits. His first 2 at bats the next night, and then he went hitless against Barry Zito in the Giants bullpen in the Wednesday afternoon finale. Change up, misses.
That was win number 298. He got win number 299 against Atlanta on the 27th in his last start.
Zimmerman will take it low and inside. Tails one right to the edge of the plate. And the count's even to Zimmerman, 2-2.
Look at that look. Come on. Where's that pitch?
Tim Timmons thought it was good. Johnson tries to go out there again, and Zimmerman pops it up. Randy Wynn, right field, 2 outs. Join us this weekend. It's Thanksgiving in June, as Chartise Burnett told us a few moments ago. Fans can drop off non-perishable food items at the center field gate, and that's from the time the gates open through the 4th inning. All food collected benefits the Capital Area Food Bank. It's been a great success here the last few years, so provide for those who need us to help them out in the D.C. community. And make your donations Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Here's Adam Dunn, who struck out swinging first time after the count had gone to 3-0. Whoa! Benji Molina reached up so high, the umpire was ducking.
You don't see that too often.
Randy Johnson's 11th career start against our franchise. His first major league club. Fastball's in there, 1-1. 4-3 with a 2.99 against the Expos and Nats.
Well, that's got to be one of the worst trades ever, when he was traded to Seattle with Brian Holman and Gene Harris in exchange for Mark Langston and a player to be named later. Langston would leave and then go to the Angels the next year.
Right upstairs, it's Ishikawa near the mound, and the Nats are still without a hit through 4 innings against Randy Johnson. And it certainly appears that Randy Johnson doesn't want to pitch 5 innings and get 6 or 7 runs of support tonight and give up 4 or 5.
No, he's being quite economical right now. He's coming right after us. He's attacking the strike zone, and this has been his calling card for 20-plus seasons. So if he does get 300 today, it'll be just like he got the other 299. It's attack, 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 and go right after the hitters.
Jordan Zimmerman off to a pretty good start tonight. He's giving up 2 runs on 3 hits. And I asked Manny yesterday, what can young pitchers learn from watching Randy Johnson? He said, pretty much nothing, because they're not going to be 6'11"
right.
with this kind of talent and this kind of longevity.
Well, they can learn strike one is still the most important pitch. The one thing is I wanted to point out with the walks and the strikeouts to innings pitched is that he's always been strike one. He always works ahead, and regardless of the 100-mile-an-hour fastball, he always concentrated on putting you behind the 8 ball by getting ahead and then getting to that slider, and that's always been his calling card. He was always like a 2-pitch pitcher. And now he's going for win number 300. So it's not really a secret what he's done over his career.
Juan Uribe hitting the ball well. Elijah Dukes going back on the ball well. And now Jordan Zimmermann has retired 8 consecutive hitters. Bottom of the order, number 8, Manny Manuel Burris, and then Randy Johnson. Especially irritating in that 2-run Giants second was Burris' 2-out hit on an 0-2 pitch. On a play left side, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, Craig Stammen did this the other day against Tim Lincecum. You've got the reigning Cy Young Award winner, and you step up your game. And right now, it looks like Jordan Zimmermann settled down a little bit after the 2 runs in the second inning, and he has risen to the occasion.
He's got the comebacker. And 2 quick outs. Randy Johnson has thrown 49 pitches, 33 strikes in 4 innings. He's put himself in a position to pitch very deep into this game with that economical approach through his first 12 outs. Zimmermann struck him out swinging first time up. Some of the fans boo as the kid brushes back the 299 game winner, and that's 2-0. They're not going to try to tire him out by letting him run the bases, are they?
No, I don't think you intentionally want to put him on base, but
he was pumping on 2-0, by the way.
I think when the unit's doing other than pitching, I'm not going to say he doesn't put all the best effort into it, but I don't think he exerts all of his energy. He saves that for the mound.
Yeah, he's had 77 career hits, and that's 3-1.
One of his hobbies is photography. You got to be pretty patient to always get your subject or your picture.
Here's a 3-1.
I don't think he wants to run the bases either.
I don't think he wants to go to first base. Randy Johnson's 22nd year in the big leagues. He's pitched 200 innings 14 times. He's caught looking. I don't think he minds. And this ball game's going to the bottom of the 5th inning. Randy Johnson back to work. Young Zimmermann not bad himself.
Update. Well, the big unit, Randy Johnson's already thrown 2 no-hitters and a perfect game May 18th of 2004 with the D-backs when they beat the Atlanta Braves 2-0 when he was 40 years of age. Tonight, he's having a pretty good first 4 innings in this ballgame.
He is, Johnny. He's throwing nothing but strikes. He's got 75% strikes thrown. Only 8 pitches in the first inning, 8 in the third, 15 in the second, and 15 in the fourth. So he's just got his stuff. He doesn't throw as hard as he once did, but he's still got that great movement with the fastballs exploding up in the strike zone, throwing up a little bit more with his fastball, but always capable of punching out with that slider down around your shoe tops.
And as everybody knows, he's going for career win number 300 tonight. But I'll tell you something, our guy Jordan Zimmerman not doing bad at all. Back to Bob and to Rob.
Thank you, gentlemen, and we'll look forward to Nats Extra between ball games and after our nightcap tonight. 49 pitches, 33 strikes for Randy Johnson, his first 4 innings. He'll face Elijah Dukes, Austin Kearns, and Ronnie Belliard, right-handers all. A couple of noteworthy things early in this game. Not only the Giants' 2-run rally, but also that play Aaron Rowan made out in center field in the first inning. The Nats had the possibility of their second hitter of the night getting a hit. And now 13 hitters have been up there without anybody having one. Nick Johnson a walk, and that's been it offensively for Washington. None of the other balls really hit with any kind of authority. 2 strikeouts and the 1 walk. 7 ground ball outs. Elijah Dukes pulled the ball to third base first time up. And it's 2-1.
Well, over the last 50 years, of the 11 eventual 300 game winners, only 4 won their 300th game on their first attempt.
Broken bat, and Dukes has a base hit. Maybe one of the few men in the league strong enough to have a bat explode and still get a ground ball between the middle infielders. And the Nationals have their first base hit of the night by the leadoff hitter in the 5th.
Well, it's a good pitch, down and away fastball, and Elijah Dukes just hits it as hard as he can. His bat snaps in his hand, but it singles a single. First one off of Randy Johnson in the first 4+ innings.
Here's Austin Kearns.
Sure, his hands don't feel too good right now. Don't rub it.
First pitch changeup to Kearns. Randy Johnson pretty much blew him away with fastballs first time up. Bottom of the 5th inning, 2-0 Giants. On RBIs by Juan Uribe, a grounder. Emmanuel Burris, a single. After Lewis had singled and Ishikawa doubled off the glove of Nick Johnson. That's upstairs, 2-0. Nationals had 4 runs, 8 hits against Johnson in 5+ innings, even though he struck out 9 and didn't walk a batter on May 11th. That ball's off the glove of Molina. Down to second goes Dukes, and it's 3-0 to Kearns. Don't know if there was a cross up there. Benji Molina will be assessed a passed ball, and he's a reliable catcher.
Here's Benji Molina setting up right there, going on the outer half, and that ball kind of cuts. Sometimes that happens with a 4-seam fastball that you're just trying to get over for a strike. That finger's just over the wrong side of the ball and moves a little bit too much. Even the catcher didn't expect it.
Back-to-back Gold Gloves for Molina, 02 and 03 when he was an Angel. That's a 4-pitch walk to Kearns. Second walk of the game by Randy Johnson, and now 3 of the last 5 Nationals have been on base. Here's a programming note from Masson. A week from Saturday, the Nats will be at Tampa Bay to take on the Rays. Because of Major League Baseball's national blackout window between 1:10 and 7:05, Masson will join the game in progress with live coverage starting at 7:05. Tampa Bay, they can play their home games whenever they want. They've chosen 6 o'clock, and so we cannot show you any baseball until 7:05. So you can follow the game at MassonSports.com with live game blogs. Oh, look at that play. Emmanuel Burris, a 4-6-3 double play. That was remarkable. And that's the kind of play that can win a ball game for a guy, whether it's 300 or something way fewer than that. Wow.
This is remarkable, as Bob said. This is a smashed one hopper off the mound by Ronnie Belliard. Burris just has no time to go to his hand. He just throws it with the glove right here. Watch this feed, too, perfectly to Renteria. And that's a 4-6-3, as good as you'll ever see.
If he doesn't make that play, it's 1st and 3rd, and the Nats have a run in. And now it's a runner at 3rd, 2 outs, and Will Nieves the batter.
Well, if the ball doesn't hit the mound, that ball's into center field.
Off-speed pitch. Will takes it. He rolled over a ground ball to the shortstop first time. Well, Emmanuel Burris, the kid out of Woodrow Wilson High School, has been a factor in this game. He gave the Giants their second run with a 2-out hit, and he just took away at least 1 and maybe more. Nieves saw a pitch up, and he was coming out of his shoelaces on that one. Down the middle, and the count's 1-2.
Over the course of his career, he's had 2 different back surgeries in the last 5 years. About 10 years earlier than that, he had the go on the disabled list with a herniated disc in his back. So he's battled a bad back his entire career.
Target in. Nieves, a 2-hopper to Burris. Emmanuel Burris keeps the Giants ahead, giving Randy Johnson tremendous support in a scoreless 5th inning. Rewind. A young pitcher going for his 3rd major league win and throwing the ball very well early, totally handling the top of the Giants lineup. but a pitcher just a little bit older, going for number 300. And he's handling everybody in the Nats lineup. Randy Johnson's walked a couple of broken back single, and that's all from AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Zimmerman to his left, and he retires Aaron Rowand, leading off the top of the 6th. Coming into this inning, Jordan Zimmerman, 83 pitches, 58 strikes. A great strike to total pitch ratio. But a couple of balls in the second inning just a little too good. And here's Renteria. But you'll take 2 runs on 3 hits through 5 for a young pitcher like this anytime. The guy the Nats are facing tonight just a little better.
And that's the key. I mean, pitching is trying to keep your team in the game long enough to give you an opportunity to win. And a great conversation with Steve McCaddy, the new pitching coach, today about that fact. Doesn't matter if you give up 9 and your team scores 10 and you win, you've done your job. There's a new pitching coach, Steve McCaddy. However you get it done, get it done. Just get some victories. Go out there, keep your team in it. That's what pitching's all about. That's how you get to 300. I'm sure there's been some games where Randy Johnson didn't have his best stuff, but he gave his team an opportunity to win. And he took home the victory and helped his team take home a victory.
Yeah, when he was in his prime, I bet he had some bad nights when he gave up 2-3 runs.
There's also been, there was a stretch in his career where his teams were not scoring him any runs. He probably would have got 300 a couple years ago.
Well, I saw him throw a 2-hitter one night, and the other kid threw a no-hitter.
Yep, I actually worked that game. We talked about that.
Ryan Zimmerman and Jordan Zimmerman teaming up right there to throw out Edgar Renteria. Get your red on and come out to the ballpark next Tuesday for the 2009 draft party. All the latest news live on the scoreboard, as the Nats will have the number 1 and number 10 picks. First 10,000 fans receive free 2009 draft party t-shirts. So a little variation on T-shirt Tuesday. So come to the draft party. 888-632-NATS or nationals.com.
Wasn't the guy's name like Jimenez with the Cardinals?
Jose Jimenez. He was a rookie who threw a no-hitter in Phoenix that night. And then about a week later, the same 2 pitchers hooked up in St. Louis. And I think Randy Johnson gave up 2 runs and the kid gave up 1. He was beaten by the same pitcher 2 starts in a row while pitching brilliantly himself.
And where's Jose now?
The last I heard of him, he was closing in Colorado a couple of years ago, and that was about it. Randy Johnson's just about outlasted anybody he ever pitched against, except for those not born when he threw his first pitch, like tonight's opponent. As Debbie Taylor told us earlier, Randy Wynn pops it up left side. Nieves and Zimmerman. And the Nats always like Zimmerman to take charge on those. And Jordan Zimmerman now has retired 13 Giants in a row.
Randy Johnson and the Giants by a score of 2-0 as we move to the bottom of the inning. Now, all of the foul balls that are hit tonight are going to be collected and authenticated. A lot going on here. There are going to be 3 sets of bases that will also be saved as Randy Johnson goes for win number 300. His entire uniform will be put aside. They're even going to collect some dirt from the pitching mound after the game, and they're going to take the rubber. All of that for Randy Johnson's 300th win. Now, of course, if he doesn't get it, all of the Nats stuff will go back to the team.
Well, I would hope so, Debbie. It belongs to our ball club, but they'll be happy to donate it if history does take place. Jordan Zimmermann is done for the night. This is life in the National League. You're pitching very well, but you're down by a couple, and Manny Acta needs some offense here. Anderson Hernandez off the glove of Randy Johnson. Collects himself, almost throws the ball away, and Ishikawa made a fine play. Well, Johnson helps there, Rob, but the Giants are throwing some serious glove work at the Nats here today.
Well, if it's not his second baseman diving for balls, it's Randy Johnson that had to basically rush the throw and throw it and fall on an off-balance throw. Let's take a look at this replay right here. Here's the big unit. Knocks it down with his glove, and then he makes a terrific feed over to Ishikawa at first base. Watch this. That's a big man. Timber, 6'10".
Wow.
45. And still getting it done. That's the one thing Jamie Moyer's talked about at his age, is the movement, being able to field your position when you're in your mid-40s. That's the tougher part of the game. Here's the wet ball right here as you see the shine on it. Big unit, making a big play for himself and his teammates.
Nice work by our crew to spot that ball and how wet it was after rolling maybe 10 feet on the infield grass. Top of the order now, Alberto Gonzalez and then Nick Johnson.
There's that good slider down and in right at the feet. Got how many thousands of sliders he's thrown over his career.
Nationals box score basically nothing doing. Ron Vallone takes over for Zimmermann with the Giants bat in the 7th. Jordan only gave up 2 runs on 3 hits. It was all in 1 inning. That ball hit sharply to Edgar Renteria. And it's off the glove of Ishikawa. A tailing throw that appeared to be catchable. Somebody's getting an error.
Well, Renteria right there throws it, and it starts to just kind of tail and die. Maybe it slipped out of his hand. I'd say that's an error on the throw.
You are correct. Edgar Renteria's 5th of the year. And here's Nick Johnson. Only the Nationals' 4th base runner in this game.
You only have a split second to pick the ball up and pick it out of your glove, and obviously it was soaking wet. Probably didn't have a good grip on it. Basically like a spitball to first base.
Now, how would you know how a spitball reacts?
I played with somebody that threw one.
Oh, okay.
I won't tell you what the substance was, but I'll tell you where he put it. He put it on his gums. So it looked like when he was going to his mouth to, you know, get some moisture and get a grip for the ball, he actually was getting it off his gums so he could get it on the ball.
Off speed, and Nick takes it low. Nick Johnson robbed of an extra base hit by Rowand in the 1st and then walked in the 4th. That's in there.
2002, Randy Johnson became the first pitcher in Major League Baseball history to strike out at least 300 batters in 5 consecutive seasons, and that was while he was winning his 4th consecutive Cy Young Award. Talk about dominant. Johnson and Johnson side by side.
And Nick will take that hard breaking ball outside, 2-2.
All you need is Howard Johnson out in the field, and you go, Johnson hits it off Johnson to Johnson.
There's been a lot of those namesakes in this league. And a 2-2 to Nick. That ball's drilled to the gap in left center. That wet ball is going to the wall, and that quick runner Gonzalez is coming home. A little trouble by Lewis picking up the ball, and the Nationals are on the scoreboard. And the error comes back to really hurt the Giants. Nick Johnson's had the best 2 swings at Randy Johnson tonight. And for Nick, his 27th RBI.
Would have been his second hit of the night had Aaron Rowan not made a super play in the first inning. Right there, he just gets a fastball away. He smokes it into left center field, which he's been doing the entire season. And there you see Gonzalez chugging around third, easily scoring, and Nick holds up at second with a double.
Now the Nats a base hit away from tying this game. So the Giants gave the Nationals an extra out, and Washington has made them pay. That was only their 28th error of the year. Nationals bottom of the league, but the Giants are 6th in the National League in team defense. And Bruce Bochy has to be a little irritated by that. Zimmerman bounces it to the shortstop Renteria. Another throw low, but that one grabbed by Ishikawa, 2 outs.
Another sinker right there by Renteria.
Edgar's always thrown the ball pretty much sidearm, and that will do some sailing and sinking. Adam Dunn coming up. We check in on trivia. The most wins this decade. Which 2 pitchers? Up and into Adam Dunn.
This decade, thinking Andy Pettit and Roy Halladay. No, maybe Johan Santana. Santana has won a lot of games. That's a tough one.
That is foul outside first. Elijah Dukes had the first Nationals hit. A broken bat, base hit up the middle, leading off last inning. So here we are with 2 outs in the 6th. Tying runs at third. Adam Dunn has struck out and popped up. And he pops up again. Juan Uribe. The Nationals pick up an unearned run on the error by Renteria, the Johnson double, and it's a 2-1 game into the 7th. Baseball on Masson, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your next trip at southwest.com. And by PNC Bank. PNC leading the way. Having a good time at the Red Loft and the Red Porch right below there tonight. Fans were gathered out there, safe from the downpour last evening. So here we go into the 7th inning. New Nats pitcher Ron Vallone. He's becoming a mainstay of this staff. This will be his 17th appearance. Only 3 pitchers on the staff have thrown in more ball games.
I'm going to go with Randy Johnson and Tom Glavine.
Okay. My first reaction would have been Roy Halladay, the picture of consistency north of the border. And on Vallone's first pitch, Benji Molina pops it up to Nick Johnson. Ron Vallone was a big key to the Nats' 10-6 win on Tuesday night. He kept the ball game close, Rob, for 5 key outs until the Nats could rally with that big 8th inning.
And that's what he's been doing since he joined the Nationals. He came up, gave us 5 strong outs, got everybody fired up, and gave the team an opportunity to come back and take the lead in that Lincecum start and win the ball game.
Fred Lewis 1 for 2 tonight. Vallone comes out and does it by throwing strikes, but at the same time, he's not afraid to have the other team hit the ball. He did strike out his first 2 men on Tuesday night. Randy Wynn and Benji Molina, but then Sandoval flight out to left. Ground ball by Lewis to third. Ground ball by Uribe to second. Mike McDougal is working. And Ron Vallone had great success against right-handed batters in that game. Ground ball, Nick Johnson. That's why they call him Slick down there at first base. A very good play that kept that ball from going down the right field line. Home Depot covers the bases with us. And later tonight, Ross Detweiler will be joining us. He's going to start the game, of course. But we'll be talking about him as Debbie helps us cover the bases with a young man from the St. Louis area. You will see him in his high school football uniform. I mean, what's better than that? Bases empty, 2 outs, and here's Travis Ishikawa.
I don't know. I'd rather see him with the girl he took to the senior prom. I mean, if we look back at our tuxedos back in the day, I mean, I know I had a blue velour one year way back in the 70s and the 80s. I mean, when you were going to sock hops in the 50s, what were you wearing?
Bobby socks. Rolled up blue jeans. You take.
Did you? But I know you didn't smoke. But did you fake it and put a pack of smokes in your T-shirt?
My mom would have killed me if I even faked it. Not Bobby Carpenter.
Bobby.
But we did take our short sleeve white shirts and take those sleeves and roll them all the way up to our shoulder.
I got to get you some ink. Got to get you a tattoo.
Forget it.
Come on, get your wife and your kids' names on there.
If the Nats win the division, you can ink me up.
All right, that's a bet.
I didn't say what year. Let's hope it's soon. And on the corner, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ishikawa, who's doubled in 2 trips. His double really was the big hit of that 2nd inning, even though it didn't drive in a run. It got the Giants 2nd and 3rd 1 out. They scored on a grounder and then a 2-out hit. Right on the outer half, and Ron Vallone is red hot out of the Nats bullpen. Bottom of the 7th, Elijah Dukes. Now the Nats have already come from behind.
Here, Johnny Holiday along with Ray Knight. A 2-1 ball game. The Nats have finally gotten Randy Johnson out of there. And a no-hitter through 4 innings. And it's a kind of a brand new ball game for this ball club, and we're hoping they can come back and get this thing in the win column.
Well, you kind of
300th win too.
Yeah, it'd be great. And right now, Randy stands to win his 300th game. But what a great job Zimmerman did today, Johnny. Just the 2 runs early, no walks, 7 strikeouts, 92 pitches, and just held them down. They didn't even hit the ball hard. So great ball game so far.
Well, take a look and see what some of the National Farm clubs are doing right now. Take a look at this in the minor leagues in the scoreboard. AAA, Syracuse and Scranton. They are 1-1 in the third, and Marco Estrada, Ray, 2 innings pitched, a couple of strikeouts in that ball game. You like
Johnny,
him?
I do like him. He's gotten 14 strikeouts in his last 17 innings pitched.
And Myrtle Beach, Potomac later on tonight, Lake County and Hagerstown as well. 2-1, the Nationals trail, trying to get back in this baby. Let's go back upstairs to Bob and Rob.
Thank you, gentlemen, and not to be lost in all of this, how well the Nationals have pitched tonight. Rob Dibble and I think that Randy Johnson might be out of this game because he hurt himself on a play that we'll talk about. He only threw 78 pitches over 6 innings, and now the Giants bullpen will have to shut down the Nats for 3 innings to get him that win.
Well, there's 2 different times that I felt that Randy Johnson may have injured himself just slightly. I mean, but when you're 45, little nicks and things like that kind of get you. Early in the game, he tried to knock down a ball up the middle, may have clipped his pinky on his pitching hand. And then that great play he made at first base, when he threw the ball to first, he landed on his left pitching arm's shoulder, and he got up and he was like, man, I think my shoulder's hurting a little bit. So maybe that's why he's out of the ball game, because 78 pitches doesn't seem like an awful lot from Randy Johnson.
Nope. He gives up 1 unearned run on 2 hits, 2 walks. And a 1-2 to Dukes, and he gets around a little bit late. Randy Johnson struck out 2 batters and threw 78 pitches, 50 strikes.
Yeah, I was going to say, he threw so well. 50, 78, 12 first pitch strikes.
Well, we were talking about the low pitch count early in the game. Yep. He averaged only 12 pitches per inning his first 4. Then he had a 13 pitch inning. And then 16 in the 6th. Rain coming down steadily, a little harder than it has been for a while. And Duke swings through a big breaking ball by Brandon Metters, who appeared in 135 games over 4 years for Arizona. All right, Rob, take it away on Randy Johnson.
Well, this is the possible injury right here. He's going to knock the ball down as it's hit back up the middle, and he's running, he's stumbling a little bit, and as he throws, now watch the left shoulder, bang, he kind of jams the elbow back up into the shoulder right there as he leaves his feet, and he hits hard. And then when he would come up, he was kind of fiddling with his arm a little bit like he had injured himself.
And that was the at-bat by Anderson Hernandez, hitting for Zimmerman right before Renteria made a bad throw on the grounder by Gonzalez and prior to Nick Johnson's double. Austin Kearns 0 for 1 with a walk, and that ball's up and away, 1-1.
Yeah, the rain steadily coming down. That's what we were told before the game, that we had a window to play this one, maybe not the second one. I talked to Giants broadcaster Mike Krukow before the game. He said, listen, if we play one of these games and neither one of us are in the playoff hunt later in the season, probably won't make it up. But if it's a doubleheader, they'll probably find a way to do it, maybe over the All-Star break or some other time.
Yeah, so getting one game played really important. And here's a breaking ball for a strike. And Austin Kearns is 8 for his last 49. 2 outs. Fly. All right, the winningest pitchers since the year 2000. Is Randy Johnson one of them? Tom Glavine was Rob's other guess, but
Andy Pettitte
did mention Andy Pettitte.
Should have stuck with my first instinct. Yeah, Andy Pettitte's won a ton of games in this decade. Tom Glavine got his 300. Maddox got over 350. But Andy Pettitte, I don't know if did Andy win last night for the Yankees? Because he started last night before the game 220, and Moyer is 250 behind. Those are the immediate closing in on 300 guys.
And we've got some big-time raindrops coming down. Ronnie Belliard pops out to Burris, going to the 8th inning as the umpires keep an eye on the weather. Here's our game summary. 2-1. Randy Johnson is in line for the win, but a ways to go in the rain in this one. He goes 6 innings, no earned runs. Couple of hits, couple of walks, couple of strikeouts. Nick Johnson had the 2 best swings against Randy in this game. Aaron Rowan took a double away from him in the first, and then Nick doubled a run in the 6th. Jordan Zimmerman, not bad himself, one of his better outings. All 3 of the hits and both of the runs came in that 2nd inning. Except for that inning, Jordan Zimmerman had 5 1-2-3 frames tonight, and now Mike McDougall will take over. And I know what Manny's thinking here, Rob, because of Ron Vallone and what he just did. Ron Vallone's going to be available for the nightcap tonight. He threw very few pitches to get those 3 outs in the 7th. It is really raining hard here. Now, during the between innings break, crew chief Jeff Kellogg, who is at second base, he came in, talked to the other umpires. They inspected the infield. You just wonder how long it'll go like this before we have a stoppage.
Well, you just want to make sure the playing surface is not dangerous to the players. You don't want anybody on either side to get injured on this field. So they'll play in the rain as long as you have drainage. And as you said early in the ball game, this field is tremendous. It's a brand new ballpark. The drainage system here is impeccable, and it's fun to actually watch these guys get rid of the water after they take it off the tarp. They bring it over to the drains, and it's sucked out of here, and it's off the field. It's almost like an AstroTurf field.
That's a breaking ball, fouled off to the right. McDougall to Juan Uribe here in the 8th. It's been a very well played game, obviously well pitched by both starters and Ron Vallone, and Metters for that matter, in the first 7. And a pop up right side. Somebody's looking up into the raindrops here. It's Nick Johnson, one-hander for the out. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer, and the play of the game on the Ronnie Belliard at bat, Rob, in the 5th inning.
Well, Burris right here. If it does not hit the mound, this is a base hit. He's also in, and there's the freeze it right there, guys. Beautiful play. He lays out. Tremendous. Flips it with the glove to Renteria. 4-6-3. You're not going to see anything better than that. There's your Coors Light freeze frame.
First pitch swinging, Emmanuel Burris, the man we address, grounds out to Ronnie Belliard. And the Giants now
I mean, everything had to go well on that play. He's in 10 feet playing at double play depth. It hits the mound. He lays out perfectly. Can't transition to his skin hand. And then he flips it up, and it's just a beautiful play like that. And that's how you get no-hitters and 300th wins, I guess.
And that's another reason why some second basemen wear small gloves.
Great point.
For the double play, and it also helps when you can shovel the ball out of there.
Great throw in there, Bobby.
Yeah, you can't do that with a big old outfielder.
I agree. I mean, you shouldn't be using a third baseman's mitt at second base. I mean, there's a reason why. I mean, Ron Oster, I played with him in Cincinnati, was the most amazing at turning a double play. He caught the ball in the back of his glove. He was old school. I mean, they practiced that. You know, the shortstop would flip to you. You'd catch it on the back of your glove. You'd never even get it inside your glove, and you'd flip it over to first base.
This is Brandon Metters, who had a very quick bottom of the 7th pitching to the Nats.
That's a bad swing.
He's probably not feeling real good about being up there.
No,
this is his first at bat of the year, and he's 0 for 3 career.
This is a self-preservation hack if I've ever seen one. Look out, I don't want to get hit. Oh. Northrop Grumman there on the pitch track.
See ya.
Thanks for coming up there.
And a very quick top of the 8th. Nieves, the number 9 spot, and then Gonzalez for the Nats, down by 1. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your next trip at southwest.com. And by Northrop Grumman, the information systems powerhouse. How can you possibly pick out which cap? Might have to buy every one of them.
I want one of each.
And by the way, you can buy 4 ball games and get 5. It's the Grand Slam Flex plan. By the way, Giants 2, Nats 1. Ground crew working on the infield here. You can enjoy ultimate flexibility. Pick your plan, your games, your seats, get a free game, and find out about the Grand Slam Flex plan. Call 202-675-NATS. Visit nationals.com/Grand Slam. Then you can tell your neighbors, I did just what Adam Dunn did against the Orioles. I just hit a grand slam. They call this compound turfus. It mixes in with the dirt, kind of a sandy mix to soak up as much moisture as possible. And the umpires will pick out certain spots on the dirt part of the infield. The guys will spread it. They'll rake it in, get it all mixed up. And then they'll grab their big old sacks and hit the bricks. Looks like they used all but one of the bags they brought out to do some groundskeeping here in the between top and bottom of the 8th. It's going to be Will Nieves, Christian Guzman, and Alberto Gonzalez against Brandon Metters. Nationals down 2-1. Nieves 0 for 2, couple of ground balls. Nationals didn't see Metters during their big rally late in the game on Tuesday night. They got those runs against Bob Howery, usually reliable. And then the young man, Merkin Valdez. There's Joel Hanrahan for the 9th.
I got to tell you, like that, wow. What'd you call that? I call it kitty litter. What'd you call that?
Turfus.
Turfus? Okay. You get that turfus in your spikes, it is a nightmare trying to get it off.
Yeah.
It is like glue, like you said. It sops up the water, but stuff gets gummy.
Will Nieves to right center. That ball hits the grass, and then Aaron Rowan does a good job of getting his body behind it.
Yep.
That's the most important thing for an outfielder now, is to make sure you're not reaching out to try to cut a ball like that off.
And that's a great point, Bob, because you know what? You're not going to be able to make some amazing defensive play to cut off balls. You're just going to try to keep from skipping by you. And there you saw how the different path that Aaron Rowan took than a normal dry surface. He had to kind of corral that ball. I think Bruce Bochy's seen enough Mr. Metters.
So Guzman is coming on. Their only lefty is Jeremy Affeldt. And the Nats did quite well against him on Tuesday night. Park tonight, the Giants leading the Nationals 2-1. We go bottom 8, and the Nats already have a base runner aboard. This is a tough situation now for the Giants because any ball hit on the ground, any line drive becomes an adventure.
Absolutely. I mean, in the outfield, the ball's it's so slick and it's going to pick up speed. As soon as it hits that wet grass, it's going to take off and shoot by somebody. So more importantly than trying to get this 300th victory for Randy Johnson, you're trying to preserve a win. The Giants are trying to play better on the road. There's a lot of different things going on out there, and especially the playing conditions are getting worse, and you're just trying to finish off the game. You don't want to get too fast, try to do too much, and possibly end up losing this ball game. So Jeremy Affeldt right now probably going to try to get some ground balls and keep the ball on the infield.
Yeah, he's been one of the Giants' best relievers lately, but the Nats got to him to get that thing going on Tuesday night. Guzman goes up swinging, fly ball right center. That's not going to work. 1 out. I just always wonder about an at-bat where you're seeing a pitcher for the first time and boom, you're swinging on the first delivery. Easy out. Well, Guzman was not slated to start last night. He didn't start today because of Randy Johnson, and he was up there batting a right-handed against a lefty.
You're talking a 1-run ball game, no outs in the 8th inning. A guy just comes out of the bullpen. Sometimes that's a good time to lay down a bunt on this surface.
Yeah, that's a good thought. Here's Gonzalez. Conventional wisdom usually that you play for the tie at home because you always get the last at bat. But Guzman, first pitch swinging, hits a can of corn to right center.
And he's now 3 for 15 off Affeldt. So you might want to try to sacrifice the runner to second base here in this 1-run ball game.
Guzman, by the way, 8 for his last 40 7. The Nats had the runner on the move. Renteria throws to first, 2 outs. I thought they might try a straight steal before that, but they do have Nick Johnson coming up. And if he can get a couple of good swings against Randy Johnson, he can against Jeremy Affeldt. Ron Custer from Ocean View. I just used that phrase, can of corn, on an easy fly ball. I don't know where it comes from, but it's always referred to a fly ball to the outfield that was just an EASY out. Easy.
I think it's referring to a can of corn on the top shelf in a supermarket. And it's up there. You got to go up there and get it, but it's going to come down.
So you just knock it down and catch it in your apron if you're the supermarket boy, huh?
Yeah, if you're the stock boy. I've been a stock boy.
So have I.
I like cream of corn.
That's as good a theory as any. Top shelf. I cannot believe the immediate response of that email. I feel like Albert Brooks. I say it here and it comes out there. Here's Nick. 1 for 2 with a walk and an RBI double. He could tie the game with a base hit and take away Randy Johnson's chance at 300.
Well, I know on the bench when I was playing, we used to say, you know, we've had a guy there 100 years. It's the same thing. I mean,
easy out.
Easy out.
And that was our point. Guzman went up first pitch swinging. He'd like it to make it a little tougher on the pitcher than that. That's a good pitch on 2-0. He tailed one right under Nick Johnson's hands.
Let's check this last pitch out here on the Northrop Grumman pitch track. There it is. Little cutter. Comes back across the plate. Froze Nick in the box.
The information systems powerhouse, Northrop Grumman, with our pitch track. I don't think he wants to throw another one there. That's a breaking ball that's low. 3-1. Giants have a right-hander working. It's possible Affeldt will not face Ryan Zimmerman, and it's their closer, Brian Wilson. So that's how crucial Bruce Bochy considers this 8th inning. If Wilson doesn't come in, of course, he'll be ready for the 9th. He has 12 saves. Three and 2 now.
Some low heat by Affeldt. Nick Johnson trying to bail and wail on that one. Watch this hack.
That appeared to be ball 4. Nick doesn't often help out the opposing pitcher.
No, he doesn't often take a cut like that either.
And a breaking ball will be a walk and 2 on. Yeah, that's the Nick Johnson we know, walking twice tonight and 32 times this year.
And Bruce Bochy will come out and get his pitcher and bring in Wilson.
So the ball game's on the line right here, right now in the 8th inning. Nick's aboard, Zimmerman coming up, and their closer coming in. of 2 in the doubleheader tonight. And Brian Wilson, the closer on later tonight. Matt Cain, 6-1 with the league's 3rd best DRA at 2.31 against the Nats. And the sweet left-handed delivery of Ross Detweiler will cover the bases with Ross. During the ball game, we were expecting to be talking to his brother, Will. And that'll be a lot of fun as we look forward to the nightcap, as we used to call it. Oh, sorry, Wes, brother Wes. 27-year-old Brian Wilson, 6'1", 196. And one of the better closers in the league right now. He faces Zimmerman and misses. So this could be the ball game right here for the Nats. Adam Dunn is on deck to either bat here in a big inning or lead off the 9th. Ryan is 0 for 3 and 4 for his last 30. Breaking ball outside, 2-0.
Well, San Francisco stands at 500 right now. Yes, you're trying to get Randy Johnson the 300 win, but as you said, they're not playing well at all on the road. 7-16.
2-0 to Ryan. Fastball right by him, 95.
This is a good pitch to go out and try to hit a home run on. 2-0, 95 down Broadway, but now cut down on the swing and try to get a base hit here.
I saw that head moving a little more than it was moving a couple weeks ago. Way outside, and we are 1 pitch away from Adam Dunn batting with the bases loaded.
There you see the defense.
Bases loaded. Adam Dunn coming up, and the tying run will be at 3rd base. The Nationals have been given their 4th walk of the night. So Will Nieva singled leading off the inning after Guzman pinch hit, flew out on the first pitch, and Gonzalez grounded out. Nick Johnson walked, and now so has Ryan Zimmerman. Giants employing their 3rd pitcher this inning.
Dunn has no at-bats off Wilson in his career, and Zimmerman was 2 for 4. Just surprising that he pitched around him like that with the 2 sliders.
Up and in, ball 1. Well, what a horrible way that would be to take a potential win away from Randy Johnson if they walked the bases loaded in and walked in a runner. Dunn's been great with the bases loaded. Grand slam against Baltimore in this ballpark. And that was right in that big hole of his swing. Most hitters will have a hole in their swing up and in like that.
Well, and 96 up and in. That's going to give you a hole also. Cut down a little bit. Just need a base hit right here to take the lead.
Adam Dunn fouls it straight back. The Giants, by the way, are playing their defense straight up on the infield because the bases are loaded. Adam Dunn hardly ever looks out and sees such a defensive alignment. A lot of fans are standing. They know this at bat may decide Randy Johnson's fate on this night. Ball 2. And you know, the people who are booing are the ones sitting on the 1st and 3rd base side who had no idea that ball was a foot outside. Elijah Dukes next if the inning continues. It's upstairs, ball 3. Adam Dunn has walked 40 times this year, third most in the league. Pulls him out. Tim Timmons. And Adam Dunn cannot believe it. We've seen many umpires forget that this man is 6'6". Unbelievable.
Giants 2-1 in this ball game. Bruce Bochy elected to go with closer Brian Wilson. He is facing the number 4 hitter in the Nationals lineup, Adam Dunn. Pitch sequence, fastball up, 96. Fastball in, 1-1. Fastball fouled straight back, 96. 1-2. 2-2 on the outside fastball. 3-2 outside fastball. Below the knees, below our strike track. And Tim Timmons right now in line to get the save on Randy Johnson's number 300th victory.
Yeah, they'll give it to Brian Wilson.
They have not called that strike all year.
Well, I think
Joe Kerrigan, the pitching coach of Pittsburgh, talked about it. They don't give the knee strike anymore. You can't just call strikes because a guy's going for his 300th victory. That's a walk, ties the ball game, gives the Nationals an opportunity to win. It's not a good call.
That's a 10-year veteran sitting back there. And the Nationals have found out in the last 2 weeks you just cannot fight City Hall.
Nope.
And now it's happening at home. Aaron Rowan, base hit. The Giants' first hit since the second inning. That's how good Zimmerman and the bullpen has been. Today's copyrighted telecast, presented by authority of the Washington Nationals, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Edgar Renteria, the hitter, 0 for 3. I think everybody in this ballpark, except for 25 guys in gray uniforms, some coaches and clubhouse guys, thinking that was ball 4. Maybe a couple of Giants broadcasters. Well, that would have been a horrible way for Randy Johnson to lose 300, but
yeah, but
if it's a ball, it's a ball.
Right. I mean, do you want that? Do you want to have your 300th win if it is given to you by the home plate umpire? I mean, there's a guy that leads the National League in walks. He's got one of the best batter's eye in the game. Below his knees, he's 6'6". But I mean, that's the game. You got to play it like that, and got to try to get 3 outs here and battle back.
Now Joel Hanrahan's given up 2 straight hits, and the Giants could be in a position to put this game out of reach. And Joel continues to be very hittable. He pitched the 9th inning here on Tuesday night and gave up a run on 3 hits. So unless he's got something spectacular in mind here, the Giants are going to score at least 1 more run. In the dirt. I guess we'll never know what might have happened the rest of that inning, too. And a 1-0 to Wynn, who's 0 for 3. Hanrahan actually pulled the string on him there. 86 on a changeup.
Well, it's up to Joel right here, though, to save this inning. You got to look at it like he just came in, no outs, 2nd and 3rd, 1-run ball game. You want to give your team an opportunity to have a good finish here at the bottom of the 9th inning. That's a tough night for Benji Molina. You don't see that too often. 0 for 3, a couple of punch outs.
Yeah. He's 0 for 8 in the series.
Well.
0 for 8, 4 strikeouts in the first 2 games of this set. One and 2. Wynn reaches out. Fair ball. 2 runs will score. And the Giants lead 4-1. That's going to come very close to cementing Randy Johnson's 300th win. And the manager can name you the closer and say you're the 9th inning guy. But Joel Hanrahan at times has done nothing to prove that he is that guy.
Well, he throws a fastball running away. Randy Wynn is off balance and still has his hands back in order to slap it to left field for 2 RBI on that double. Look at Rowan going back. It's good baseball right there. That's a line drive that's caught by Zimmerman. He still gets back to 3rd.
Runner at 2nd, nobody out. 3 straight hits. Benji Molina, the hitter.
Coming around first right here. He stumbles. Still looks like he caught the corner of the bag.
Yeah, it looked like the step before he got to the bag, he brought up some mud, and the Nats thought he might have slipped by. And there's another hit. Benji Molina out to center field. Win around 3rd. They'll hold him. And they're just hitting the line drives against Joel Hanrahan here.
Well, here's another very hittable fastball on the inner half right there. Benji Molina saves his own night from going over. And that's going to be it for Joel Hanrahan. Could not record an out.
So this one has fallen apart for the Nats ever since a fastball was called strike 3. Joel Hanrahan for 4 base hits in a row. Joe Beimel in to try to quell this rally. Johnny and Ray between games, history in the making. Randy went for 300. He pitched very well. Didn't last that deep into the game, but 6 high-quality innings. Ray will break down Jordan Zimmerman's outing, and it's Matt Cain, Ross Detweiler in the nightcap.
Cain versus Abel. Very able-bodied Mr. Detweiler.
Let's hope nobody gets hurt.
Hope that window stays open for about 4 more hours.
Here's Fred Lewis, 1 for 3. Giants lead 4-1. Infield in, knowing that anything will be tough to get against Brian Wilson in the bottom of the 9th. That little pop-up will be out of play.
Well, and now if you're Randy Johnson, it kind of makes it a little bit easier to swallow that 3rd strike call on Dunn, because you say, well, then they scored a couple of more and they blew it open.
Yeah. And maybe
it softens the blow a little bit.
Maybe softens the blow for the Nats as well when you think about it.
Yeah, I don't think anything softens the blow on a loss. We need to win some ball games. But really, other than the 9th inning with Joel Hanrahan, this is a very well pitched ball game by Zimmerman, then Vallone, everybody coming in, and it's like seeing more well pitched ball games. Guys battling out there. Tough 2nd inning, 2 runs for Zimmerman, then he shut him down. Look at one point, he had 50 strikes out of 70 pitches. And that's what we're talking about with Jordan Zimmerman. Kid's got amazing ability. Steve McCaddy, the new pitching coach.
.74 on that changeup, floating away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That is Andres Torres on deck to hit for Travis Ishikawa. And a line drive to center. Here comes Dukes. He has it. Runner tagging, and the ball skips too many times to have a chance. With a runner like Randy Wynn, if you don't one hop at home, you've got no shot, and it's 5-1 Giants.
No telling how wet this ball is when Elijah Dukes picks it up. Well, actually caught in the air, and then he throws it 2 hops, and it kicks off the pitcher's mound. Looks like a strong throw to there, and it just short hops the mound.
Well, that's what happens when you're going bad. One ball that hits the mound takes away a base hit from you.
And another ball.
And another one hits the mound and gives the other team a run. When you're not, you're not. Here's Andres Torres. He slaps one to center. Dukes is under it. 2 outs. Follow the Nats on your iPhone and iPod Touch. It's MLB.com at Bat 2009, featuring video highlights, live audio, Nationals.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase.
Got my iPhone right here, as a matter of fact. Check out the score.
Juan Uribe will be next, 0 for 3 with an RBI ground ball.
He's got some other scores. Pirates, Mets, 11-6. Angels, Blue Jays, 6-5.
Yeah, a lot of day games today.
Red Sox, Tigers, 6-3. See Beckett's outing last night? He was dealing.
Yeah, Red Sox swept the Tigers.
Ton of strikeouts. Twins 11-3 over the Indians. Oakland 7. White Sox 0. Yeah, I love this feature on the iPhone though, and a lot of the apps on the iPhone. It's a fantastic tool. One of the things that saved me many a times, the GPS on the iPhone.
And a little chopper. Beimel is there. Good play by Nick to save an error. Giants get 3. Bottom of the 9th coming up. It's 5-1.
Trailing San Francisco 5-1, and Randy Johnson on the verge of getting his 300th career victory. Only the 24th pitcher to get to that select circle, and we have seen a heck of a ball game tonight. The Nats have one more shot, though, Ray, coming up here in the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, we do. It made it a little bit more difficult as Hanrahan only faced 4 hitters, gave up 4 hits, Johnny, and they put a 3 spot there. But very well played ball game, crisply played ball game, and both starting pitchers threw very well. Zimmerman also had a great game, striking out 7, only walking no one.
And we'll talk about not only Zimmerman's performance, but the big unit as well when we come back in our Nats Extra post game when this ball game is over. Back upstairs to Bob and to Rob.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. And here we go, bottom of the 9th. Andres Torres stays in to play left field. Pablo Sandoval will be at first base. And Brian Wilson remains the pitcher, trying to nail down his save. I think Randy Johnson's feeling pretty good about his first attempt at 300. There's no doubt he pitched well enough to win.
Absolutely. Well, I'll be interested to see why he came out after 72 pitches.
But if that ball had not been called strike 3, the Giants would win the game, but he would not have had the win. The Nats would have gotten Jordan Zimmerman off the hook and Johnson a victory removed by a ball 4 call. What are you going to do?
Yeah, we got to move forward.
Elijah Dukes 1 for 3 tonight.
You can't argue balls and strikes. Can't even replay them. But that man deserves number 300 regardless of that call. Just think of all the games that, like you said, he threw like a 2-hitter and the guy threw a no-hitter against him.
Yep.
I'm sure over 500 plus starts for him, close to 600 starts. He's had a few that should have gone his way. There's his night. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, no earned runs, 2 walks, couple of punch outs.
Randy's been in the clubhouse the last few innings, but he's back out to come on the field and shake some hands unless Brian Wilson has an ungodly 9th inning.
Well,
leading by 4.
Randy's a low-key guy. He's kind of a quiet, keep-to-myself type of guy, and he's just a wonderful guy off the field. On the field, I've never seen a fiercer competitor. But off the field, just a quiet family man. I don't think you'll probably hear too much from Randy if and when he retires. Until he makes his Hall of Fame speech.
Yeah. And a 3-2. Dukes hangs tough. just one out here in the ninth. Our fourth drive of the game for the Nationals, the best swing of the night by a Washington hitter. And Nick Johnson beautifully, Rob, taking a ball to left center.
Yep, sixth inning. Looked pretty good right there. Gonzalez comes around to score on the double by Nick Johnson. Randy Johnson would get Zimmerman and then Dunn. Turn it over to his bullpen. Nick just hits lefties, righties. Doesn't matter who's throwing. I mean, you're talking a future Hall of Famer. He's throwing fastballs and sliders, and you know, Nick just stands up there and he's Nick. Hey, Nick.
On base 3 times.
And he's made some gems in the field today too.
Well, this ball game ends right around 7:30, which is only a few minutes away. Oh, pardon me. I made the mistake of looking at the stadium
my
clock
watch
again.
has about almost 20 till.
I forgot the stadium clock is always 10 minutes late. So if we're done here in the next couple of minutes, it's 7:27
okay.
over on Potomac Avenue.
I won't argue with that clock.
1 and 2. And Kearns takes one that just misses.
It's the 1-2 pitch right there. Almost like Benji Molina kind of pulled that pitch down a little bit. Just cheese at the knees, man, and you're just trying to stay alive. Put any kind of wood on it at all. 97. Boston stays alive, gets another chance.
That's upstairs 3 and 2.
I just like Wilson's look. He looks like a closer. Got the mohawk, got some tattoos on him. Looks like he's ready to rumble.
Three strikeouts in a row.
Last pitch here from Brian Wilson. 96 on the gun, but he just rears back and lets it go. I did not know that it is Randy Johnson's son playing bat boy tonight.
Why not?
If he only knew. Your dad's been an amazing kid.
Yeah, no info about Randy's family in the media guide, so we don't know what his name is. Ronnie Belliard 0 for 3.
He's a baby unit.
And now it's one strike away from some Randy Johnson 300 history here in Washington. They're chanting Randy, and he's in the dugout. Just a little bit outside. A man who doesn't smile on the field or in the dugout a whole lot.
There's Randy's wife, Lisa.
And she thought that was strike 3. Ronnie Belliard up the middle, off the glove of Burris, and safe is Belliard at first base. See how they score it.
I think that's a hit. Randy Johnson has a collection of stuff, including autographs from Lefty Grove, Cy Young, Babe Ruth, and every Cy Young Award winner from over the last 10 years. Did not know that. So he's a history buff. He's making history tonight if he gets 300.
Family has had to brave some tough weather these 2 evenings for this moment to arrive. Will Nieves 1 for 3 tonight. And now the Giants are a strike away again. Randy Johnson pitches 6 great innings and wins number 300.